Hello, welcome to AB-730, the AI Business Professional Certification course. I hope you have already watched the previous video in this series. My name is Alexandra. I'm a Senior AI Solution Architect at Microsoft. With over 10 years of teaching experience in technology, fluency in 5 languages, and professional experience across 50 countries, I'm committed to helping you learn. My accent may sound unique due to my international background, so feel free to turn on live captions for a better experience. If you're interested in learning more about my career at Microsoft, please check out my LinkedIn profile at aka.ms/Alexandra. Today, in our 5th module, we will explore how to manage meetings, collaborate effectively, and handle follow-ups using Microsoft 365 Copilot. If you're ever felt stressed by non-stop meetings, endless email chains, or trying to keep your team focused, this module will help. Let's be honest for a second. In today's fast-paced work environment, staying organized and focused can feel like a full job on its own. Between back meetings, endless message threads, overflowing inboxes, and sharing documents scattered everywhere, it is easy to lose track of what actually matters. Now imagine this. You're part of Launchpad team at Contoso, a cross-group working on the launch of brand productivity app. You have got marketing, product development, and customer success all working together. Everyone is moving fast. Everyone's juggling priorities, and everyone has meetings stacked on top of meetings. Sounds familiar? After a critical team meeting, the real work begins. Someone needs to remember what was actually decided. Someone needs to track action items. Someone has to draft the follow-up mail. And before you know it, you're digging through long email threads and all documents just to prepare for the next meeting. Instead of focusing on creative, high work, your team is stuck in an endless loop of admin tasks, and that pressure ends up quickly. This is exactly where Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams and Outlook steps in. Think of Copilot as your AI teammate, quietly working in the background to keep everything moving, and helps summarize email threads so no one misses key decisions. It captures meeting notes automatically, highlights important discussion points, and turns conversation into clear, actionable insights. It even acts as a center place for your team's content, so information doesn't get lost across tools. The result? Less time spent chasing details and more time spent collaborating, thinking strategically, and driving real results together. In this model, you will see how Copilot supports your team before, during, and after meetings. You will also discover how Copilot pages support shared planning actions across the team, and how notebooks help you go deeper when it's time for analysis and decisions. By the end of this module, you will understand how Copilot helps teams work smarter, not harder, and stay aligned, focused, and productive even in the most fast-moving environments. Imagine your team is getting ready for the weekly sync. Instead of starting the meeting already behind, Copilot in Outlook helps you walk in fully prepared. Long email threads about the lunch plan are instantly summarized, so you understand what changed and why without reading every message. Copilot helps schedule time with the key stakeholders, build a clear agenda to keep the conversation focused, and even blocks time on your calendar for real, uninterrupted project work. Rather than sifting through dozens of emails, you can simply ask Copilot to summarize the lunch timeline and turn it into an agenda with discussion points and action items. You can see today's meeting at a glance and protect time for Launchpad work without juggling calendars manually. What used to take hours now takes minutes. Copilot turns detailed conversation into clean and executive overviews so every team member shows up aligned, informed, and ready to make decisions before the meeting even begins. During meetings, Copilot in Teams becomes your real-time productivity partner. As the conversation unfolds, it can summarize what is being discussed, capture who said what, and even highlight where people agree or disagree. It doesn't just listen, it actively helps move the meeting forward by suggesting action items, follow-ups, and questions you can ask to keep momentum going. If someone joins late or needs clarification, Copilot can instantly answer questions about the meeting by using both the transcript and the chat. It can also transform live discussion into structured outputs like tables, lists, and concise summaries. And for learning or engagement moments, Copilot can go a step by side by generating quizzes, micro-learning activities, or even simple games based on the meeting content. It's important to note that Copilot in Teams relies on transcription to unlock these full insights. Without transcription, its capabilities are limited to what is available in the meeting chat. During a meeting, you might ask Copilot to identify the key takeaways so far, highlight where opinions differ, summarize each participant's input, create a comparison of ideas, or quickly catch you up on what you missed if you joined late. Once the meeting ends, Copilot in Teams continues working for you. It automatically generates clear and concise summaries that shows who contributed to each topic, where the team aligned or had differing point of view, and which action items were proposed. Because these summaries are built from both the transcript and the chat, they give your team a reliable snapshot of decisions and next steps without needing to rewatch the meeting. For transparency, these summaries include citations. So it's easy to trace insights back to the original conversation. You can also export the summaries directly to Word or Excel, making it simple to continue collaborating, refine plans, or share outcomes with stakeholders who couldn't attend. To access these summaries, open the meeting chat in Teams, go to the Recap tab, and select Copilot to view the generated content. From there, you can export the responses to Word or Excel if you need them outside of Teams. Copilot is especially valuable for follow-ups. For instance, you can ask it to draft a follow-up email summarizing decisions and next steps, or to extract action items from this transcript and clearly assign them to each team member. Copilot Chat provides a robust, prompt-driven interface that exceeds basic Q&A capabilities, offering answers regarding team meetings and chat. It facilitates online research, retrieves organizational information, and supports daily workflow across meetings, messages, and documents. Notably, it assists teams in maintaining alignment following periods of intensive collaboration. After days of fast-moving conversation in Teams, it's easy for decisions and next step to get lost. Copilot Chat helps cut through the noise by summarizing logged chat threads, calling out key decisions, and flagging unresolved issues. It can reorganize discussions by topics, such as timelines or deliverables, and turn conversations into clear, actionable task lists with owners and deadlines. All it takes is a simple prompt, Ask something like, summarize the Teams thread and generate a task list for the lunch prep phase. And Copilot Chat brings structure back to the chaos, helping your team refocus on what matters most. The same approach works for meeting follow-up. You can ask Copilot Chat to draft a follow-up mail that captures decisions and next steps, or to pull action items from a meeting transcript and assign them to the right people. The result is clearer communication and smoother momentum after every meeting. Copilot Chat helps ensure nothing slips through the cracks and everyone keeps moving forward together. Imagine having one single place where everything related to your project just lives. That is Copilot Notebooks. Inside Microsoft 365, it acts as a smart workspace that pulls together your files, chats, meeting notes, and all the context that normally gets scattered across tools. Instead of hunting for information, you get a focused space to think through complex work, ask smart questions, and receive tailored AI insights. Whether you're planning a campaign, summarizing research, or trying to make sense of ideas coming from 10 different directions, Copilot Notebooks help you organize your thinking, explore options, and actually move work forward without constantly switching apps. With Copilot Notebooks, you can dig into multi-step questions, capture decisions, and their rationale for future reference, and collaborate asynchronously as teammates, add comments and insights over time. Managing notebooks is simple too. You can mark favorites, rename them, or clean things up directly from the home page. Before we continue, let's pause for a quick but important setup moment. To use Copilot Notebooks, you need a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, along with a SharePoint or OneDrive service plan. That is what allows you to actually create and manage notebooks. Copilot Notebooks is built specifically for work scenarios, so it isn't available for personal Microsoft accounts like Microsoft 365 Personal or Family. Once the right licenses are in place, you are ready to bring everything together in one focused workspace. Now, let's make this concrete. Imagine you're an account executive getting ready for a strategic pitch to a retail client. You have got research documents, competitor analysis, templates, and feedback scattered everywhere. And the pressure is on to deliver something compelling. Instead of jumping between apps, you open Copilot Notebooks and create a new notebook for the pitch. Everything lives there. You add your value proposition, competitor analysis, and SLA template as references. Then you start asking smarter questions. Copilot helps you pull out what really differentiates your offering, summarize how it aligns with the client's sustainability goals, and turn those insights into a clear, structured proposal. Need a draft? Copilot can create one using your existing templates and competitive insights. Short on time? Generate a quick audio summary for review. Want to refine it even more? Compare this proposal with previous pitch and see what is improved. All of that happens in one notebook workflow with the full context, no copy-pasting, and no losing track of feedback. Because this is an enterprise tool, Copilot Notebooks also respects your organization's data privacy and security policies. You can only reference files you already have permissions to access, and any sensitive information is handled according to your company's compliance guidelines. Getting started is straightforward. Inside the Copilot interface, you create a new notebook and use it as a structured workspace where prompts, reference files, and ideas live together. You can add sections for different tasks, save prompt sequences you want to reuse, and pull in relevant Microsoft 365 content to give Copilot the right context. The result is a more organized way to think and build without losing track of decisions or jumping between tools. Once your notebook is set up, Microsoft 365 Copilot really starts to feel like a thinking partner. You can ask questions directly about the content in your notebook, and Copilot responds with the summaries and insights grounded in the references you have included. Instead of generic answers, you get responses shaped by your actual project, your files, and your criteria. And for something a little different, you can even turn your notebook into an audio experience. Copilot can generate an audio overview using either selected content like marketing materials or the entire notebook. You choose the format, the style, and how long it should be. Inside the audio player, you're fully in control. You can adjust playback speed, skip forward or back by 15 seconds, pause, resume, save the audio to OneDrive, or regenerate the overview if you want a different tone or emphasis. It's a great way to review work on the go without staring at another screen. Now let's bring this to life. When you start Notebook in Microsoft 365 Copilot notebooks, Copilot immediately gets to work. Based on the topic of your notebook, it suggests relevant content from your work data files, notes, and materials you might want to include. You can also set clear instructions that guide how Copilot responds inside that notebook. For example, you might ask it to always use a professional tone, stay aligned with corporate branding, respond in the bullet points, or write all numbers in words instead of numerals. These instructions act like guardrails, keeping everything consistent, polished, and on brand. With that said, we are ready to dive in. Let's jump into the demo and explore these notebook features in action. It's very easy to find our notebooks in Microsoft 365 Copilot. If you look on the left side menu, we have our notebook section here. If you click on all notebooks, first of all, it will suggest us to create our first notebook. I can select the name for it as well as the files that I want to attach to it. Let's call it Current Trends in Wearable Technology Industry, and I can select the documents that are related to this topic that I generated in our previous modules. So when I create a notebook, I can add as many reference files as I want. I can summarize my notebook with Copilot. I can add some prompts. I can review all the reference files it's using. And in the middle of my screen, I can also add extra document and ask Copilot about all different references that I did attach to this notebook. So if you want to summarize multiple files in one place and see the full workflow of your project all in one, it's very easy to do it via your notebooks. And here it will say, I see your 3 files, and here's a recap of 3 different files that you used. And each time it's also provide me the link to specific file or document that it's used to create this recap. You see that there is a sources. I can also, if I want, add a new notebook review, the notebook that we just created together, add it to favorites or review or shared notebooks with other team members. And if I add to my favorite one, it will appear in new section, and add as many notebooks if I want. If I want, I can also come back to the notebook that we created and get audio overview of it, kind of podcast, as that I can listen by selecting the voice format, style, and duration of audio file that I would like to have. So very nice feature inside of Microsoft 365 Copilot. You can now see the notebook that we created straight away in the notebook section. I hope you enjoy this demo. Let's come back to our presentation. Now let's talk about Copilot pages. Think of pages as the moment when the great ideas stop being temporary chat answers and start becoming real work. Inside Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, Copilot Pages turns AI-generated responses into editable, shareable content your team can actually build on. You're drafting a project plan, capturing meeting notes, or organizing research, and it all happens right where the conversation starts. No copy-paste, no jumping between tools. Built on Microsoft Loop and available across Teams, Outlook, and the Microsoft 365 app, Copilot Pages gives your team a shared space to refine ideas together, collaborate in real time, and keep momentum going long after the chat ends. This is why Copilot Pages becomes the central hub for team collaboration. Teams use Pages to organize project goals, track milestones, and capture key insights, all in one place where everyone can contribute and stay aligned. Dynamic elements and live co-authoring help teams move smoothly from quick answers to polished deliverables, streamlining both project management and knowledge sharing. Using Copilot Pages is simple. You start in Copilot Chat and ask your question like you normally would. When Copilot responds, you select the page icon below the answer and choose Edit in Pages. Instantly, a page opens side by side with the chat. As the conversation continues, you can keep adding Copilot responses directly to the page, editing and refining everything as you go. What starts as a conversation quickly becomes a shared workspace. Moreover, Copilot Pages make sharing both simple and secure. When you're ready to collaborate, you don't have to share your entire Copilot chat, just the page itself. You can drop a page link into Teams or Outlook, or even insert it as a loop component that stays live and updates everywhere it is used. Everyone contributes, everyone stays in the sync, and version control just works in the background. You also get the full transparency. You can instantly see who changed what, with profile photos or initials right next to the edits. Hover over them to understand exactly what was updated and by whom. And when your work needs to become more formal, one click converts the page into a Word document. Copilot prepares the draft for you, so you move seamlessly from collaborative thinking to polished documentation. Let's jump into the interface and see this in action. These Copilot Pages in Microsoft 365 Copilot is quite easy. First, let's submit some prompt, like for example here, compare the effectiveness of influencer marketing comparing to paid ads for our target audience. And when Copilot generates the reply, we can automatically add it as a page. So our page will appear on the right part of our screen. We can review different replies of Copilot of our page. This is still generating all of it. We can see who is working on this page in real time. You see that in the chat, it's saying that it did create a page straight away. And the force of any Copilot generated page is that I can collaborate on it in real time. I can modify some section. I see the icon with my avatar exactly where I'm modifying the information. I can complete this page as I want, and it will be saved for me. And if I want, I can also generate a document presentation or a PDF based on this page, I can share it with my coworkers or add it to the notebook that I have. If I have multiple people connected to this page, the pictures of initials will appear on the top of this page. Any new page will appear in my library next to my new chat and search section. So we see now that this page was just added here. And if I want to add any other chat that I had in the past with my Copilot as a separate page, I can open my chat history and select any communication, any conversation that I did had with my Copilot and add it as a page. It's very simple to do. When you communicate with Copilot, you go in the bottom part of the response of your Copilot. You have here a possibility to copy the response, provide the feedback to Microsoft Teams, share it, or by clicking on this button with the pen, add this page in a page. As soon as I click on this button and the end of Copilot reply, a page will be created automatically for me. So it means if you want at some point to transform your communication with Copilot to a page, you have one click. And after that, if you want, you can also generate from this page a Word document like I did here with country exchange rate. And you see that everything that Copilot provided to me is now available as a document file. The same I can do with PowerPoint. So each time when you add that your communication or your chat as a page, it will appear in your library. In your library, you have pages and images. All pages are automatically saved here, as well as all images that you create are available on the right side next to your pages. If you want to create any image, it's also easy. Next to your library, you have a create mode with some example of the images that you can generate. And what I really like about this section, you can select any suggested prompt and modify it to get the same result, but maybe with your product or with your company logo. So here, for example, I want to replace update by Copilot. I will use suggested image, select the style, can select also the brand and color of my organization and the size of it. When I click on create, I can review the image generation in real time. And as soon as the image is finalized and generated, it will appear inside of my library as well as my page. So here we see that it's starting to work. On the right side, while my image is generating, I have a possibility to modify it, to make some changes to it. I have a possibility to add a prompt or some images as a reference, modify the style, brand, and the size, as well as review different layers of it. So you see it's generated my Copilot image. I can modify text on it. I can download this picture to read it later for my PowerPoint, for example. And as a page, my picture will appear inside of my library next to my images. And I can always come back and add it or copy it when I want, as well as I can always modify in real time and collaborate with my colleagues on my pages. I hope you enjoy this demo. Don't hesitate to use pages, add them to your notebooks. They can really improve your collaboration inside of Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's come back to our presentation. Let's bring everything together. Microsoft 365 Copilot supports the full collaboration journey, from the first conversation to real outcomes. It often starts inside Teams and Outlook, where work already happens. In meetings, Copilot helps you stay present by summarizing discussions in real time, answering questions from transcripts and chat, and suggesting action items and follow-ups so nothing gets lost. After the meeting, Copilot continues the work by generating clear recaps, highlighting decisions, and helping draft follow-ups email directly in Outlook. turning conversations into next step without rewatching recordings or digging through notes. In chat and email threads, Copilot helps cut through the noise. It summarizes long conversation, surfaces key decisions, flag unresolved questions, and turns messages into structured task lists, so teams stay aligned even as conversations grow. When teams need deeper thinking and comparison, Copilot notebooks come into play. Notebooks support asynchronous collaboration, comparing strategies, exploring pros and cons, documenting rationale, and building shared understanding over time. They provide a structured, secure space to organize prompts, reference files, and ideas while reusing context and respecting enterprise data permissions. For real-time collaboration and execution, Copilot Pages transforms AI responses into editable, shareable content. Pages turn quick chat answers into living documents, project plans, goals, milestones, and insights the teams can author, track, and refine together. With live updates, version transparency, and easy sharing across Teams and Outlook, Pages help teams move from ideas to structured deliverables. When it's time to formalize, Pages can be converted into Word documents, bridging collaboration and documentation seamlessly. Together, these experiences form one connected Copilot workflow. Teams and Outlook for live collaboration and follow-ups, Copilot Chat for fast insights, notebooks for deeper asynchronous thinking, Pages for turning ideas into actions. The results? Less context switching, clear decisions, stronger alignment, and faster progress from preparation to execution, all powered by Microsoft 365 Copilot. And with that, we have completed our fifth model. Is it just one step in your learning journey? There are many ways to continue. Watch the other videos in this course or explore your next favorite topic on Microsoft Learn at aka.ms/learn. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope this helps you work smarter, collaborate better, and get more value from Copilot every day. Happy learning!